There was an ancient-looking city in front of the temple, with people in robes walking back and forth. When he was looking down, he could see a group of robed priests-looking individuals who were dragging along a struggling individual. Seeing such a thing wasn't unusual in this type of world, but something about the image seemed to annoy him to no end. Stepping forward, he appeared behind the priests who were chanting in a foreign language. The person they were dragging was a woman. When she spotted him, she called out, "Please, help me! I am going to assume that you are taking her to some place she does not wish to go," he said to the priests. Hearing his voice, they all stopped and turned towards him. Each one of them was old-looking, the kind you imagine when you think about creepy old men, their flesh hanging from their face with wrinkles all over. One of the priests spoke, "Do not interfere with the ritual of our Lord, who has set in motion the cleansing." "Is he talking about the overflow?" Han asked. "He is, Master," Doi answered. Han tried to fight back, covering his mouth with one of his hands. After hearing such a ridiculous cliché thing, Han burst out laughing. "Do you guys honestly believe that the overflow is a cleansing? What is it even cleansing?" he asked the priest, who was looking at him as if he was mad. "The overflow is our Lord's way to keep the pure alive and punish those who stray from God's teachings," another priest yelled out. "To laugh at such a blessed gift is proof that the overflow is necessary." Once he was able to calm himself down, and only had to deal with the occasional giggle, Han shook his head as if giving up. "It is not like I ever planned on changing how you all think, but at least with this woman, I will not allow you to do anything. She is under my protection." The pressure he exerted frightened the priest, and they were at a loss as to how they should proceed. "There is no need to be so confused. End them," he cheerfully said. On either side of him, Doi and Noe propelled themselves forward and used their sharpened fingers like mini swords to slice the priests apart. Han felt like he was watching one of those late-night infomercials where the chef would demonstrate how quickly his product could cut through anything. All that was left was a slave girl who stared in awe at him. "Can you take her back to Felicitas?" he asked as a door emerged with a maid stepping out. The maid simply bowed, and several more maids stepped out to help the woman. Han wondered if this is where the term "spirited away" came from, where normal people were whisked away by the gods to the spirit realm. To some people, Felicitas may appear like the spirit realm, with how little it mimics the world around it. It made him think about something as he walked over the corpses. As if he wasn't there, the blood and human matter didn't stick to his shoes. Behind, Omegon landed on the ground, causing a slight earthquake. His creations landed behind him and followed as he headed towards the main temple. As he walked into the temple, he appreciated how ancient it looked and gave him a feeling that it had existed since the very beginning. "I do have to admit that you guys are more artistic compared to me," Han mentioned, thinking about how his stronghold could use a more artistic hand. "Master, you did a wonderful job with the stronghold. I treasure how it looks." Helania spoke up after Han voiced his thoughts. He laughed and said, "I do believe that all of you are slightly biased in your thinking, but I do appreciate the thought." The occasional priest they ran into was taken care of by his creations. With how creative they were being, Han imagined that they were having a competition. "A necklace! That was mine!" He could hear Brittany yelling in anger. A sultry laugh was heard and Anaklis responding with, "I do apologize. My hand slipped. I meant only to target the other one." "Everyone, do not be disruptive in front of our master," Helania said, playing her part as the mother figure. The hallway they were walking through winded around like a maze, but Doi and Noe guided him to the central chamber where Dominaster usually stayed, conducting his business and managing the other demons. Near the end of the hallway was a large set of doors. Without any decor, Han kicked the door open and caused both sides to fall off their hinges nearly. Now they were loosely hanging on. The room was very large with several fireplaces on either side, giving off a very evil vibe. "I am getting the feeling you want to say, 'I am evil,' with all these fireplaces." Han laughed when a figure at the front of the room quickly turned to face him after hearing the crashing noise. "What are you doing here?" Dominaster shouted, panic written all over his face. Hearing Dominaster's reaction, Han dramatically paused and wondered out loud, "Wait, you did not send the overflow to my city as an invitation?" "I only thought that because they seem to be sticking around and not looking like they will be leaving anytime soon." He started off sounding jovial until near the end when his voice went flat without any humor in it. "That is not possible. You should have been wiped out by them." Dominaster began to slowly back away from Han. Continuing to walk into the room, Han commented, "As I said, you demons seem to be really talented at interior decorating. Their furniture really matches with the evil fireplaces. Do you guys hire someone to arrange this place?" "Enough with this nonsense!" Dominaster created a fireball and hurled it at Han. The furniture decorating the room was burned to a cinder from the heat of the attack. Before it reached Han, the fireball was quickly absorbed by a beautiful fire goddess. "Thank you, but that was not really necessary, Ellis," Han complimented the burning goddess. "To allow such a minor thing to reach you would only stain my honor, Master," Ellis stated as the flames dispersed and she returned to her forest form. "Who are you? You cannot be one of the gods. They promised to not interfere in my matters." Dominaster looked confused as he looked at Ellis. Ellis shifted into a being that seemed to be the wind shaped into a woman. Lifting one of her hands, she began laughing. "You think that I am one of the gods? Compared to the power my master wields, they are not even worth my time. I find it amusing how these creatures lack such imagination, considering where they originated from." Anaklis voiced her contempt. "Well, I do enjoy these bonding moments. I think we should move to the heart of the matter." Han clapped his hands together. "Helania, my love, would you restrain our host?" Helania raised one of her arms and opened her hand to create a black ball that seemed to make the room grow darker and distort the space around them. With a certain finality, it slowly descended and began to press Dominaster into the floor. By the tone of his screams of pain, Helania was not exerting much effort into the ball, lest she destroys him. "Release me!" Dominaster screamed at Han, between his cries of anguish. His contorted face, along with the tears running down, only helped to demonstrate how much pain he was feeling. Han slowly walked towards the screaming Dominaster. He hummed a light tune as each step brought him closer to the tortured soul. When he was standing almost in front of him, Han squatted and gave him a broad smile. "So, what were you planning all this time? And what will it take for you to stop?"